I'm Dr. Farshad Amini Behbahani, and this is short course of Iranian traditional medicine. In this section, we discuss about expulsion and retention as one of the 6 essentials. We have 4 stages of digestion. You knew it from the previous sections. Each stage needs its primary substance, that in stage 2, 3 and 4 this primary substance is product of previous stage, and in stage 1 the primary substance is the food that we eat. Each stage have its product. For example, stage 1 product produce chylus, and stage 2 the liver product produce humors or chymus. Each stage of digestion has some wastes that should be evacuated, should be expelled and exit from the body. Stage 1 evacuate its wastes by defecation of feces. Stage 2 waste is expelled by urine. Urine is expulsion of stage 2 digestion. Stage 3 evacuate its wastes by sweating, and stage 4 evacuation ways are peeling, growing hair, sebum, secreting sebum, and by sometimes acne, that is kind of sebum, of course. There are some other fine material that are not directly the ways for digestion, but they are because of effect of innate heat on a moisture of body, or because of actions of body. For example, muscle spasm or heart contraction. They have different names: vapors, smokes, and winds, based on their temperament. For example, vapors has wet and warm temperament. Winds almost have cold and dry temperament, and smokes have dry and warm temperament. And based on their form of movement, smokes and vapors usually goes upward, and winds goes for direction, every direction, and that's the cause they produce tension, produce some kind of pain if there is so much winds. Vapors and smokes also have their own way of expulsion. For example, by breathing we expel some smoke and vapors. By bloating, by gas passing, by sweating, also some vapors and winds go out. And some pores there is on skin that actually act like the exit way of these fine substances. There are some products for digestion, for a stage of digestion, that act as primary substance for the next level. For continuous digestion, why we need continuous digestion? Because we continuously lost parts of our body and they should be replaced. So we need a continuous process of digestion. For continuity of digestion, we need a reserve of primary product for each digestion state. We have reservoirs for these primary substances. For example, stomach and gut act like a reservoir for food as primary substance for stage 1 digestion, and vessels, for example mesenteric vessels, act as a reservoir for stage 2 digestion, and all vessels of the body act as reservoir of primary product for stage 3 digestion, and the between cell space, between organ space act as reservoir for stage 4 digestion. If we have overload of products, if we have overload of reservoirs, if we have retention of wastes, all of this is considered as abnormal retention and they cause diseases. What kind of diseases? For example, wet distemperament, infection, because some wastes have moisture, have wet temperament, and they are susceptible to infection if they receive an unnatural heat. Sometimes inflammation, sometimes obstruction because of retention of so much substances, obstruction of canals. Sometimes this obstruction has such a pressure that rupture the canal, rupture the reservoirs. Sometimes dilatation of reservoirs. It could be a varice, it could be a colon dilatation. In each reservoir, this dilatation, this rupture can happen. And sometimes paralysis or failing to action of the reservoir, failing to movement of reservoir is the consequence of retention.